We thought that the problem was solved. We thought that by pushing Vince out the door, that was going to solve a lot of the problems in WWE with them being out of touch. It doesn't seem like we're getting over that hump anytime soon, especially with the regime of Triple H. I swear, I continue to say it, wrestling cannot be this hard to book. And wrestling fans cannot be this hard to understand. I want to read you something, make it sound really important, Wiser. I want to read something that came across my desk. It didn't come across my desk. It came across my Discord and Twitter. By the way, salute to the people that be tagging me and stuff on Twitter. I'm going to read this headline of what I see on Twitter. I don't want to believe how out of touch WWE is. By the way, hey, I'm Wiser for anybody that likes wrestling topics and discussions and don't mind having a difference of opinions. I'm your guy. You can check out my catalog if you see something you like or a slew of things you like. Remember to subscribe to the channel. For those of you who are my returning viewers, know what we do over here. We hit the like button, right? We hit the like. We hit the like button, right? We press the like button. We want the channel to grow. We want more people. We hit the like button. It's not that hard. All right, so back to what I'm talking about. This is a post from Elite Rockers on Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. Still Twitter to me. And this post came via Wrestling Binge. I don't know who that is. I typically don't look at spoilers and people that put reports and stuff like that. I just watch the product. That's what I do. I try to stay away from stuff that's just going to spoil how I feel about the product, even though I have two eyes. But this one is from Sports Binge. It says Triple H is very high on current WWE champion Gunther. That's my guy, Gunther. Gunther's letting me down, bro. Gunther's letting me down. However, there are some higher ups backstage who feel as though his recent audience reactions have not been strong enough for ratings or ticket sales. All right. Okay. All right, where do I even start with this? Because I've been wanting to do a Gunther video for the longest. There's so much to just break down here. And let me do it this way. This has TKO written all over it. If they say that Triple H is high on Gunther, which I don't believe, but if they say that Triple H is high on Gunther, I'll take their word for it. This sounds like a TKO move. Now, I'm on the record for saying TKO knows absolutely nothing about the wrestling business. TKO, they have a stronghold on the UFC and MMA and shit like that. However, I don't think that they understand, and this is why I say I don't think that they understand the wrestling business. In UFC, the characters sell the fight. Right? So you can have somebody who you can see as a bad guy, but that bad guy is just being himself. Whereas you have your good guy, the good guy is just being himself. It's either people like him or they don't. That's what determines whether or not you're a good guy or a bad guy when it comes to UFC. There's no good guys or bad guys in UFC. Let me say that. However, in the world of wrestling, in the world of WWE, in the world of pro wrestling, there's characters. The characters have to pick a side, heel or face. Sometimes you could get in a bit of the gray area with a tweener. But when you have a heel, this is what TKO doesn't understand. When you have a heel, people aren't supposed to like him or her. They're not supposed to like that person. Wrestling is built on heels. They're built on heels. However, it's your baby face that's putting the butts in the seats. Why? Because if your babyface can garner enough sympathy for you to want to see that babyface beat that heel, that is the thing that's supposed to drive the sales, drive the ratings. You're not supposed to put your company on the back of a heel and think this is what's going to sell tickets. Now, people can say, hey, man, why is it? What about Roman Reigns? It's a very, very special exception. And I would go as far as to say that Roman was he was good at being a heel, but he was so good to the point that everybody kind of turned him into that gray area tweener and ultimately a babyface. Because we blur the lines of what's a babyface and what's a heel, we got to look at Stone Cold for that one. I think that could kind of summarize what I mean by the Roman Reigns excuse. Categorized as a heel, but he really was a bit of a tween. So I'm sorry, TKO. Gunther's not going to move your needle. Why? Because there's no real babyface that's been chasing him this whole time. However, here's the caveat. You guys know I love a good caveat. Want to know what the real problem is? We're talking about ratings and audience, putting butts in seats. You know who the babyface that was chasing Gunther this whole time was? Come on. Put it in the chat. The chat. I'm not streaming. Put it in the comments. Come on. I'll wait. Put it in the comments. Tell me the name of the babyface that was chasing Gunther. Hey, y'all want to have fun with this? Y'all say I be hating. Y'all say I hate everybody. I just try to make sense of things that are just right in front of me. Now, I think I've given you more than enough time for you to type in 6 letters, 1 space bar. Jey Uso. The same guy that sells all the merch in the world. The same guy that was lighting everything on fire. The same guy that's super over. So if we really want to complain about ratings and audience and putting butts in seats, are we really complaining about Gunther, your heel that you're not supposed to like? Or are we really complaining about the person that everybody's supposed to be getting behind? See, a few of us were saying for the longest that Jey Uso just wasn't that guy. Is he over with the live audience? Sure. Does he sell merch? Sure. That doesn't make him a needle mover. It just doesn't. Now, he had a short reign, but this entire thing that was going on with Gunther, damn near from start to finish. Now, move Damian Priest out the way. Most of Gunther's run was against Jey Uso. That's your babyface. That's the guy that's supposed to sell tickets. That's the guy that's supposed to put butts in seats. That's the guy that we're supposed to turn our channel for so that we can watch him. That's the guy. And it wasn't happening. And I've been trying to tell y'all that he's not that guy. Once you get past this, the bell got to rip. People just wasn't getting behind him for real. Only time they really wanted to react was yeet. Okay, he throws a punch and they say yeet. But he's got to talk you into the building. Now, this isn't about Jey. But this is about the psychology of how you put butts in seats. Let's move back to Gunther, because it said this funny thing about Triple H being high on Gunther. All right. Gunther's not exempt from this lashing of words that could possibly be out there. He's not exempt, because he's not doing his part. And that's when booking becomes a bit of a problem. See, in NXT UK, Gunther was booked like a god. He was Walter. He was booked like a god. Once Vince got his hands on him in NXT, kind of watered him down a little bit. Then he gets to the main roster and they take Imperium away from him. And from there on, Gunther was not a threat. Struggling with Jey Uso, a tag team guy. I was about to say struggling with Pat McAfee, but he did not struggle with Pat McAfee. Struggling with Goldberg. The list of Gunther challenges is not long. Tozawa, Otis, Jimmy Uso once, Jay Uso like 10 times. Bro, he never had real challengers. Move Jay Uso out the way. They should have had CM Punk and Seth Rollins going after Gunther from the start in order to make this matter. You can't expect Gunther to take mid-card guys and bring them up to a main event level when you're not booking him like an absolute beast killer. You just don't. Imagine Brock Lesnar in the role of Gunther, and they treat Brock Lesnar the way that they treat Gunther. Are you going to say the same thing about Brock Lesnar as you're saying about Gunther? I mean, you have to, because they would be booking him the exact same way. So the only thing that you would be saying that Brock Lesnar has is a look. Take away everything you know about Brock Lesnar. Put him in a role that you got Gunther in and have him doing the exact same thing. You'd have the exact same result. The only problem is, we know that Brock Lesnar's box office. Why? Because they booked him as such. They booked him that way. They made him a killer. They made him larger than life. Did they do any of this with Gunther? Absolutely not. So when you have all of these people saying, I don't see what y'all see about Gunther. I don't see what there is to like about him. I can't stand this guy. He just talks. It's because they're not giving him anything to do. Nothing for real. And then when they give him somebody that could be considered a challenger, they got him cowering away. How do they make Gunther, a world beater, into a chicken shit heel? How do they do that? Triple H, sorry, you're the one in control of the books. You're the one in control of creative. You're the one that wanted to come out there, acknowledge me in front of everybody for a good year or two. This is the era of the Paul Levesque era. This is your era. And this is your guy, the one that you are high up on, yet you don't book him that way. You don't know how to book anybody that way. Why? Because WWE is a 50-50 fucking company and no one gets over. Nobody gets over. You had Roman Reigns in your hands. Easy. And you 50-50 Roman. What? How does anybody get over? See, I might be a little too early on ringing the bell on this CM Punk thing, letting y'all know, hey, this guy, sorry, he's not what y'all are thinking that he is. And that's on booking. The clearest example of that, look at his win-loss record. This is a guy that was supposed to come in with all of the popularity in the world. And what do? They beat him. Roman Reigns, they got Roman Reigns suffering loss after loss after loss. Seth Rollins, they never know what to do with him. These are supposed to be your top guys. Your top guys are not supposed. Look at Cody Rhodes. That fucker never loses. He never loses. Wrestling can't be this hard to book, yo. It really can't.